All right, greetings. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for joining us today. I appreciate y'all being here. Let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I always ask that question. I like to get an idea. Oh, excuse me, of where the people are watching from. Hey, Brother Jarman, I see you in the building. Hey, Faye, how you doing? I guess people will start dragging in Giselle as we get going. But I appreciate y'all being here and on time. Fredericksburg, Virginia. All right. VA is in the building. All right. The DMV, as they say, right? I'm in the south suburbs of Chicago, Illinois. And we're going to have a good discussion today, right? We're talking about going to Ghana, right? Exploring the people, history, and the culture. South Carolina. Hey, I need to get down to South Carolina. Um, I keep saying that, right? I keep saying it, saying it, saying it. But I'm looking forward to getting down there. I know Charleston in particular has a long, deep history, and we believe that our one of our ancestors was drug into that port down there in Charleston, right? So I'm super interested in the area, the Gullah Geechee community and culture, and all of that good stuff, right? So I know it's a lot of deep history down there in Charlotte. Hey, Teresa, I think that's Teresa. Look, I take them glasses off, boy. I can't see nothing. Oh, Jarman, you in Atlanta. All right. I'm usually in Atlanta at least 3, 4 times a year. I would love to get together with you, brother, when we're down there. We'll be there in March, but that's when we go to Ethiopia. So I'm not gonna be there. Uh, I'll be in Ethiopia. I just bought my flight, which is crazy that it's like 2 weeks away, 3 weeks away, and I just bought my flight. But that's living life on the edge. Denver, Colorado. All right, Teresa. I like Denver. All right, I've only been there once. We got a conference, another conference, right? I may go, I may or may not go when to get out there. But I love to connect with the community when I'm traveling. So sometimes you will see me announce like where I'm going, and then we try to put together little get-togethers so we can connect and continue to build, right? It's great online. Zoom makes all of this environment fun and friendly, but it's nothing like pressing the flesh and getting to see and know one another directly. So. All right. You coming to Brazil? All right. Well, I'll see you later in the year, good brother. All right. I love that. I love that. Yeah, yeah. We're gonna have a good time. I'm looking forward to it. I've never been to Brazil, so I'm looking forward to engaging that culture and that history. It's gonna be a great trip, man. It's gonna be a great trip. I'm just getting my screens together over here so I can dive into this presentation. Um, I'm gonna run through it. We got some information. I'll be giving you a high level overview, some pictures and videos and all that good stuff. But then you will have an opportunity to ask some questions, right? Q&A, right? Because we're talking about going to Ghana today, right? I'm really excited. Anybody been to Africa? Give me a one, give me a zero in the comments if you've never been to Africa. Give me a one in the comments if you have been. I'm just wondering who is in attendance today when it comes to the continent. All right, I got zeros coming. All right, so y'all are looking to break into the African experience. Oh, all right, all right. Oh, everyone. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right, we usually have at least one seasoned traveler in the group. Not that y'all aren't seasoned travelers, just haven't been to the continent yet, right? Oh, now I gotta know. Now I'm curious. If you don't mind unmuting, we got a small audience, so let's be a little more intimate. If you don't mind unmuting, um, why haven't you gone yet? Yeah, anybody want to just shed some light on that? And I understand, life and I was traveling here, I was traveling there, or why haven't you gone to the continent of Africa yet? I'm just curious. Obviously, you're here to rectify that. So I'm just interested. Y'all know me. I'm always just curious. Don't y'all be shy now. I'm traveling to Ghana in November. All right, Teresa. She is on her way to the motherland and to have that experience. West Africa is a beautiful place. Um, I love West African food, work restrictions. Ooh, Karen, I'm nosy. Inbox me. What's that mean? Right? Um, no, I mean that can mean a myriad of things. So I appreciate that. I'm just always curious as why, we haven't been. I know there's a lot of stigma around the continent. There are a lot of negative energy and negative news and a lot of lies and deceit about the African continent and the people and the danger and all of those things that you hear that I think when you get there, the scales will fall from your eyes. I don't even know why I'd be bothering taking my glasses off, right? Like I'm not gonna read something. Anyway, that's like a good joke, right? We can play along with that. Let me bring up my screen and dive into the presentation. Let me move through this. Oh, let me ask a couple of more questions. Trying to unmute says host will not allow. Oh, all right. Is that Michelle? Where did I see that? There you go. All right, see if you can unmute now. I just asked you to unmute.
Okay, am I unmuted?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's all. I didn't have anything to say. I was just trying to say I haven't been to Africa because it's always just been a dream of mine. Just haven't made it yet. Now I got the time.
Okay, okay. I guess if you want to speak, then raise your Zoom hand, right? Now, I guess I gotta unmute you. I don't know.
Okay, I'll mute myself.
Okay, no, you're fine. I appreciate the comment, right? Yeah, just haven't made it yet. That's what we're talking about here tonight, talking about going to Ghana. Hey, Faye, how you doing? Go ahead and unmute. I think you should be able to now.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. I think for me, it's a little bit like you said, it was the stigma. For the most part, when we would talk about taking trips internationally, it was always your typical Jamaica, Cancun. And I would say within the last 2 years, and maybe because I did my ancestry and got my DNA results, it really piqued my interest in learning more about the African culture and where I am from. So that's why I'm here.
Yeah, where are you from?
I was major. It's funny when I got my ancestry results. I'm mainly Nigerian.
Okay,
It was a
okay.
very high percentage of Nigerian. So just curious now. Just interested in more in learning about the culture and having the African experience.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Congratulations on finding out another piece of the puzzle, right? So good, it's
Yeah.
definitely a piece of the puzzle. Um, we're going to Nigeria for the first time in September, right? I know we're doing the Brazil and Nigeria. I'll be on both of those excursions. And I'm looking forward to it because we are Yoruba out of Nigeria through my dad's mom's lineage. So I do know that. So I'm super excited about closing that gap as well. But once you've set foot on the continent, it doesn't really matter where you go. It's all a magical place. And all I can do is tell y'all is to be prepared because you're gonna want more, right? Like once you have an experience in one part of here I go, one part of the continent, um, you're going to want more and more, right? I thought when we went to Ghana, I thought I was like, oh, I got the West African experience. Then I got into Sierra Leone and then I got into Senegal. And like you just start to notice the nuances of the different cultures and the people. And I think what's really beautiful about it, about traveling to the continent, not just West Africa, all over the continent, is you start to humanize the people, right? We're taught here in America, like, that's them Africans and those people don't like you and those people are primitive and those people. But that it's that type of language that allowed for, I would say, sensible people. I just want to hope there's some sensible people in the world, right? During the slave genocide, those sensible people to sit by idly and allow something like this to happen because we demonize them so much, you don't see them as people. So I know traveling there helps to bridge the gap and you humanize it with the stories, with the culture, with the music, with the food, with the lessons, with the experiences. And, that's what we're going to do with this trip to Ghana, right? Ghana was my first place that I went to on the continent. Let me dive into this presentation so I can make sure I keep it going, because I could just sit here and freestyle and talk forever. I didn't let my audio in. Yeah, I could talk about this forever. I've been there enough times that I just love it, man. I just absolutely love the continent. I think it's one of the greatest places on the planet. But let's dive in a little bit. So welcome to Sankofa Experiences by Urban Intellectuals. This is our arm of the business where Black History travel made easy is what we do. We call this the Sankofa Experiences because Sankofa is a Twi word out of Ghana, actually, that means to go back and get it. So go back and get your history, go back and get your culture, and bring that forward with you into the future. So everything that you see Urban Intellectuals does, we kind of attach Sankofa to it because that's what we're about. We're an empowerment organization that uses history and culture to empower the community. And Sankofa is a powerful term that we utilize throughout the organization. So you will see that a lot. Oh man. All right. Last question. Last question. I promise. Last question, right? Is this your first time here at a presentation with me or Urban Intellectuals? It's usually me, right? So it's usually me. If it's your first time in Zoom with me, give me a 0 in the comments. Give me a 1 in the comments if this is your first time. Give me a 2 or greater if you've been to a lot of our stuff. Okay, all right. This is your first time. All right, we got newbies. Yeah, I love it. African ancestry. My mother's lineage is the Akan people out of Ghana. All right, so that word Sankofa, Teresa, is literally from the Akan people, right? That is the language, the Twi language of Twi, right? Which is one of the languages that's spoken in Ghana, and it's like one of the predominant languages there. Yeah, so if you learn Twi before you get there, not even all of it, if you just learn a couple of words and start to speak to people in it, man, they will open up like flowers to you. It is amazing when you're traveling. All right, so I see some 1s. I got my 4. Yeah, Teresa's been here a minute. Annette, all right, Infinity, right? Oh, Dr. Anita's here. All right, I love it. Roxanne, all right, Preston, appreciate you joining. All right, welcome to our new people. Y'all, my experienced folks already know when the new people here, I'll be on my best behavior. So I'm on my best behavior right now. Grandma watching, she'd be like, "Hey, you better be easy. We got company today." Y'all know as the night drags on, I ain't gonna adhere to that. But all right, but welcome to the presentation. Let's have a conversation about Ghana. Let me kick it off with a quick video to get us.
To mislead, this is all you need. Be your everything, and I'll be your everything. Still too soon to feel, please just say it's real. More than just a thrill, not just in it for the thrill. I'm in it for the love, cause love it needs to touch it. You're pressing on my body, babe, let me tell you something. I'm in it for the love, cause love it needs to touch it. You're pressing on my body, babe, let me tell you something. I'm in it for the love.
Welcome to Ashanti region. This is Menchia Palace. This is the museum section.
I love it because that is actually a lot of what you're going to see, at least in the first couple of days there, there in Ghana, right? But welcome to Urban Intellectuals again. Our Sankofa Experiences was born in 2022. This was our inaugural trip there in Egypt. It kicked off because the young man in the picture on the left, no, not me, the young guy to my left, is my father. He told me he wanted to go to Egypt. We figure, hey, why not? Why just go to Egypt? Why not bring a group of the urban intellectuals community with us? He's 93 years young. In this picture, and that picture on the left is us overlooking the Nile River there in Cairo, which was a beautiful experience. That's us outside of the Great Pyramids, about to have lunch. We're facing the spot that we're about to eat lunch in with the Great Pyramids right out of the backdrop while we're eating, but Dad has a sweater on there because Egypt wasn't quite warm enough for him, despite everyone in shorts and having a good time, right? But who's the crazy guy talking to me? Again, this is for our new people. I got to start from the beginning. My name is Freddie Taylor. I'm the CEO and founder of Urban Intellectuals, and I always say Black history is my life. Had an opportunity to speak at all of these wonderful places and many, many more when it comes to Black history and culture, but really, it's not my life, but it's the life of urban intellectuals. And I say that the story of urban intellectuals started almost 100 years ago. Now, it started almost 100 years ago, again, because of the guy behind me. This is Dad and I in the dungeons of West Africa. This is actually one of the so-called slave dungeons that we will visit in Ghana, right? This is in Ghana. This is Dad and I's first trip to the motherland. So I know that feeling. I know that angst. I know that excitement that is probably running through a lot of you, right? That's like, man, I always wanted to have this experience. I've always wanted to be there. Well, imagine going there with your 87 years young father. He's 87 in this picture. It was his first time there. I thought he had been there before. I thought he's well traveled, right? So I just assumed that he had been to Africa. So when he started telling me in 2016 he had never been and he wanted to go, he's like, man, I want to go before I kick the bucket, right? That's how Dad talks, right? But I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like, what did I say? It's 20. How old would I be? 41. I would have been 41 in this image. But this is 2017, and that is us there, man. Get prepared to sweat. It's hot, right? I don't know what else to tell you. There's no way around that. You're gonna be hot. Bring your little fans. I'm on the portable electric fan joint team. It'll help, but it ain't gonna do it all, right? I didn't have it in 2017. There's things that I learned from being there, but I say urban intellectuals almost started 100 years ago because he's the one that instilled a love of history and culture into me. And he is really the revolutionary mind behind this movement. So I always give praise and homage to my man. He's still alive, by the way. I'm gonna have some more pictures of him in a second. But anybody ever seen these, right? These are our flagship products here at Urban Intellectuals. Give me an F in the comments, right? If you've seen our Black History flashcards before. But what I've learned many people don't know is Urban Intellectuals was established in December of 2015, right? We didn't just show up talking about Black history and culture because it's hot or because y'all got a new president. Notice I said y'all, right? Y'all got a new president. We didn't just pop out because it's a thing, right? We've been doing this for 9 years. December of marked our 10th year in business. In 2017, we launched our Black History flashcards, and it has been crazy ever since. I have most of the cards. All right, there's 6 in the volume. There's 6 volumes in this series now. But since establishment of the cards, we've sold over 500,000 decks to 200,000 plus customers in all 50 states and 64 countries around the world. We have been cooking, right? We have been moving these products throughout our community. I moved backwards for some strange reason. All right, but I've had the pleasure of talking about the Black history and culture on a multitude of platforms, as I mentioned earlier. But here's one recently for Black History Month. that I've had the pleasure of engaging. We was on Fox 32.
And founder of Urban Intellectuals. Good morning, Freddie. How are you?
I'm great. How you doing today?
Happy Black History Month.
Happy Black History Month. Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much for being with us. First, tell us about Urban Intellectuals. What is this?
Our Urban Intellectuals makes it fun and easy to learn Black history. That is our mission. That is our core responsibility. And we created a suite of Black history products and services designed to rewrite the narrative about Black and African people in the world.
Obviously very important. How'd you come up with the idea for Urban Intellectuals?
Oh, I love to say that it started almost 100 years ago because my father's 95 years old. He's still alive, born in 1929, but he instilled in me the importance of understanding our history and our culture and the pride and respect that it instills inside of us. And while my children were matriculating through the school district, I couldn't believe that the limited discussion about the contributions to humanity that Black people have made were minuscule at best. And I kept thinking somebody should do something, somebody should do something. In 2016, I became somebody.
You were the somebody that did something, right? And typically, probably the conversations were in February.
Yes, typically centered around February, centered around the same 8 to 12 people every single year, which no disrespect to them and their contributions, which is amazing, but there's so much more glorious.
A lot more. Okay, so you've got a very cool product.
Thank you.
That kind of makes it fun, right? Makes it fun. Tell me about your flashcards.
Our Black History flashcards feature 52 cards in each deck. There's actually 6 in the series, so we have
6 volumes.
6 volumes in the series.
Cards,
so we're really expanding the conversation centered around Black and African contributions to humanity. I like to have that conversation because this is really the story of the world, right? Black history is world history, and too often it's the missing pages of world history. So
and I see on here 1968 Olympics.
Yes.
Bessie Coleman, Black Wall Street. So just all different things to kind of bring it to light.
Bring it to light, and expand the conversation in a easy to understand format. Because on the back of the cards are just simple bullet pointed information about the people. And the first time that you're exposed to it, it just opens your mind and makes you more curious and thirsty for more.
Who are these for?
These are for just about everyone. We have people who are using them with their young children, as young as 18 months, all the way to 95. I'll cap it there with my father's age because most of us aren't exposed to this information, so it's new to all of us.
And you also have playing cards. That's fun. Huh?
Yes, so we infuse Black history and culture into everything that we do. So instead of playing with a regular deck of playing cards, we have powerful Black imagery weaved into the playing card deck.
Exposure. What is this? This looks like fun.
Yes.
I don't know how you do a mystery puzzle, though.
You don't know what the finished product looks like, so that's the challenge. But I can tell you there's Black history wrapped up inside.
Sure, okay. Is it all the same, or is every box different?
The future editions will be different. This
different.
particular one is the same right now, but as we expand the line, we're definitely going to do more.
Right. And what else? You guys aren't just in the playing card and flashcard business.
Oh, no. We actually have 19 physical products centered around Black history and culture, but we take it a step further, and we have classes that we teach live Black history to children inside of the Sankofa Club. You can see that at sankofaclub.com, and to adults as well inside of our Sankofa Circle. But we don't stop there. We actually take people on Black history travel experiences to Africa and beyond.
That's so great. What do people, how do people, when they come back from something like that, how do they?
Oh, you're
speechless, probably.
Speechless, totally transformed. Because it's one thing to learn about the history and the culture. It's another thing to go see it and experience it for yourself. Be exposed to the food, the culture, the people. It's just a beautiful conversation. You come back changed.
Yeah, I bet. And you've been on several of these, I presume.
I have. I really enjoy it. I love watching the people have these experiences and go through these breakthroughs and breaking down the misconceptions about the contributions of Black and African people to the world.
Where can we go for more information about Urban Intellectuals?
You can go to urbanintellectuals.com, and on all platforms, we are Urban Intellectuals.
Okay, perfect. And you got some of these for the month? You're stocked up?
We are stocked up and ready. Got a special $10 offer for everybody that's going, $10 per deck. Normally that's not the price. We're about 66% off with this special, so take advantage during Black History.
Okay, well, thanks for being with us this morning. We appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, that interview went pretty well. I think it gives a nice overview of who we are and what we do here at Urban Intellectuals. And like I said, on all socials, we are at Urban Intellectuals. Let me drop a quick social down in the comments because we pushing for 2,500 subscriptions on YouTube, so I want to drop our YouTubes there. But I think the interview does a good job of exposing everything that we do here at the company. So it's actually going to speed up what I wanted to say. And thank you, Yolanda, for purchasing our words of affirmations. Cards, everybody knows about the flashcards, and I think that they're wonderful. But we actually have a lot of things that are meant to bring the Black family together, make it closer, make it fun and easy to not only engage one another, but also engage our history and our culture as well. But yeah, so it's been wonderful having these conversations about Black history on platforms like Fox 32 and ABC and CBS and all of these different places. But everything hasn't been a bed of roses, let's just say, right? In 2023, we had an absolute disaster with Target. So it's interesting that Target is like the target of the Black community's vitriol right now because, I got a bone to pick with them. And so I ain't mad that folks is talking about not shopping there, right? I was one of those Black brands, excuse me, we were one of those Black brands there in Target in 2023, and we had like the absolute worst experience ever. And I wanted you to know that, business is good, but business ain't always fun. And this Target experience was one of them. We were in Black History Month 2023. We were in every single Target in the country. And that was an exciting thing, right? When we were breaking in, because people was like, oh, where can I buy it at the stores? Are y'all in Walmart? Are y'all in these different places? But y'all don't understand that, I'll just say it, like, I don't care. White supremacy runs these environments and they don't really give a damn about us. And there's nothing became more apparent than when we got into Target for this opportunity. First of all, you're expected to use your ad dollars, your emails, and your expenditures to take your audience and tell them that you're in Target and send them into Target to purchase your materials from them so you can sell through your inventory that they purchased from you. Now, you don't get all the money because y'all didn't get on the website and order or whatever, right, directly from us. So we have to split the fees with them. Never mind that we have to advertise to you to tell you that we're in Target in the first place. Now, we're in every Target in the country. This sounds like an amazing opportunity. But when we do what we're supposed to do and push our audience to go into Target, they go into Target and they're looking at the little Black history shelves and we're not on the shelves. So one, we look like liars to our community, like we're lying in front that we're not in Target. But eventually people would start to ask the person like, hey, I thought y'all had the Black History flashcards by Urban Intellectuals. They would look it up on their little, they all got those little handheld joints now. And they'd be like, oh man, they're in the back. They're in the back. What are they doing in the back? Right? So all over the country, we had this debacle of our stuff would not be on the shelves. They would be in the back. And sometimes they would just be in the wrong place, miscategorized. And like the worst place was we was in the women's lingerie section with Black History flashcards. Like what sense does that even matter, right? I mean, it's just crazy, right? Yeah, definitely the news joint is a great exposure for the company. And so I appreciated that. But this is the reason why you don't see us in retail. Like, that ain't the reason. Before Target, the whole team was like, why aren't you excited about us being in Target? And one, I'm like, I don't need white folks to validate. I don't need to be on the white shelves for us to be validated as a bona fide company. That don't make no sense to me. We have excellent customer service. We deliver an excellent product. And if we fall short in some area, we correct those things. Like our track record validates us. We don't need to be on the shelves of these places. So I don't like that. Number two, I don't like how being dependent on this distribution channel makes you curtail your language, your talk, your essence, your ethos. I mean, if you've been around me, if you've been on Sunday dinner, if you've been on any of our events, right, sometimes run 3, 4, 5 hours, right? If you was at the MLK event, if you were at our travel event that we had, if you were our Black to School event, if you've been in anything over the last few years, You know, I'm a Garveyite. I'm into Black nationalism. I'm into us doing for self. And I'm going to say things that are anti the establishment, anti white supremacy. And I'm going to say it with my whole chest. But if we depend on selling our products through white retail channels, then they got the carrot. They can say, man, don't you like all that money that you're making? Don't you like being in Walmart and Target? Well, you know how you talking about Noble Drew Ali in one of your decks of flashcards? You know how you talking about Asada Shakur? I need you to take these people out of the conversation. Oh, man, you mentioned such and such the other day. I'm going to need you to not say that, or we're going to take you off the shelves, right? So, again, as a Black nationalist, I ain't trying to be beholding to the people that I'm trying to free my folk from. Y'all with me on that? Am I in left field? I don't. If I'm obtuse to you, then you are. It's only gonna get worse, right? Because I ain't bending. I don't care. We don't need them. This is why. Oh, here we go. I'm off target. But this is why, like the band Target, boycott Target, boycott them for one day. Don't spend no money on Wednesdays, but you spend double on Thursdays. Don't make no sense to me. If you're upset, just stop spending your money with them. That's how you punish the people. You keep your foot on their neck. You don't let it off and then give them all the money that you was not going. Anyway, I don't want to turn it into that, but I don't believe in that. Right? I don't think we need them. I think we need us. I think we got to start shopping with one another. That whole, oh, what about the Black businesses inside of Target? Go to their website and buy directly from them. What is wrong with us? What is wrong with us? Why do you feel like you got to go save massa in the process of saving a couple of us? Hey, somebody's going to suffer. If we're going to free ourselves, somebody's going to suffer, right? And if you really care about those Black businesses, go directly to their web. I promise you, I know the statistics and the numbers. They make far more money by you going directly to their. If you got to go to Target, you got to get on their website. Go on there and find out the Black businesses, get their names, and then go directly to the website and buy from them. I promise you, every single one of them, including Tabitha Brown, will appreciate you much better than going into Target and buying it because of the cut of money that they get. And if I didn't have a direct experience with this, I wouldn't be able to talk with such passion about it. But I can tell you, we sold. It was nice. I'll take the check. But if everybody would have just bought the same amount on the platform on urbanintellectuals.com, we'd have made double the money in profit. Right? Easy. Easy. But anyway, I'm gonna try to stick with it, with what I'm supposed to talk about today. But I can't help it if I understand that Black nationalism means we need us, and when we get our stuff together, these trips to Africa, this reconnection that you're gonna do with the motherland will mean so much more because you will start to understand that if we get our stuff together and we start working together, and then we start working internationally with Africans in the diaspora, it's even that much more powerful. All right, sister, I feel Sister Ashley over here. Sister Ashley is our travel coordinator. She's the one that's really behind all of this, and I'll be texting with her over here. So I feel like I got the eyeballs on me, like, Freddie, get back onto the presentation. Let's walk this back. We got company out here, right? We got company here, right? Company they ain't used to you, Freddie. Be easy, right? But yeah, okay. So I got my screen back up. Y'all can see that Target, right? I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. I promise I'm gonna speed up too. Um, and then a lot of this was said, right? So we talked about the organization. So we didn't stop there. We kept going, but we teach Black history. We teach Black history to children via our Sankofa Club. We have over, actually, there should be over 400 classes that have been archived inside of there. Thousands of students that have been through this program. But we are the ones that we've been waiting for, and we solve our own solutions. We teach live Black history to adults as well in the Sankofa Club. I was talking about Dr. Anita is there, and I see Sister Adela is in here as well. But these are our Sankofa Club members. I didn't even put, we got our Sankofa Legacy Builders program out now as well. Talk about that another day. I want to just keep going. I got to try to speed up because I was talking too much. I get a little fired up, good people. Blame it on my head, not on my heart. But I mentioned all of this not to impress you, but to remind you that at our core, we are a Black History Empowerment Company. This is what we do. This is who we are. This is what we are about. We ain't never going to change. We're 9 years old. We're going on 10 in December, and ain't nothing ever going to change. We're going to stay pushing Black empowerment. This is what we are missing in our community. And it's just far too many people willing to sell us out over much less. Anyway, keep going, Freddie. This is me entering into the dungeons, one of those dungeons that you will see there in West Africa, right? I'm assuming the motherland is on your bucket list. But since 2022, when we started this, we've taken on 8 African nations, countries, 29 trips, 379 travelers on these Black History travel experiences. This is us in some of the places that we have been. I see Egypt, I see Senegal, Ghana. On some of these pictures, it's been a beautiful experience over the years, and I'm excited to continue this. This is Dad. I mentioned the young man that when we first went to Africa was in 2017 for his first time and mine. But here we are on the left in Africa in Morocco, right? We're taking on Morocco later in the month. I think Adela, I believe you're on that trip. But we're in Morocco having a typical Moroccan tea being greeted at the locations. He's 88 years young in that picture. So any of y'all that are thinking about your age and maybe I can't go or maybe this ain't right for me. I wish I would have went 20 years ago. I'll never lie to you. You're going to wish you went 20 years ago, but you're not too seasoned to go now. He's 88 years young. In that picture in the center, this is us there in Egypt at that inaugural trip. He's 93 years old in that particular picture, taking in the Great Pyramids of Kemet for the first time. On the right, he's 94 years old. This is last year. We were in Cuba. We wanted to have that Cuban experience. He's always wanted to go there. I remember for the last 40 years, this man's talked about Fidel Castro. He's talked about his participation in the freeing of the African continent. He's talked about his work with the African diaspora. He has honored and admired Castro for a long, long time, and he's always wanted to go. And many of my family members were afraid because of the backlash. What are people going to think? Guess what? Call that baby boy. That baby boy don't give a damn. And if he's 94, and this is last year in August, us there outside of the capital of Cuba, that is the Cuban quote unquote White House. That's the capital of the country there in Havana. We had a beautiful hotel and had a wonderful experience there as well. That's my international travel buddy, y'all. He's still talking about going to Ethiopia. He's 95 now. He turned 95 in October. But I don't know. He ain't said nothing yet. I'm like, okay, man, let me know. I'm definitely down with you riding with us. But okay, I love that you travel with your dad. Yeah, great bonding time. Amazing bonding time. Yeah. Oh, I love this. Right. Oh, right. Adela. Yeah, King Stefan, right? He's king of the Sankofa Club. I mentioned that earlier. We'll be in Morocco next month, right? So she's taking her Queen Mother Adela and King Stefan is taking on Egypt with us. They've been to Ghana with us, and now they're going to Morocco with us. This is their third Sankofa experience, and each one seems to get better, right? Morocco is a different part of the country. It's a beautiful experience as well. But why should you travel with us? I always tell, when I get to this point, I always tell this story. This is my Aisha story. Not the one BB, what is it? ABC was singing, Aisha, you are the girl I never had. Some of y'all ain't gonna catch that. Somebody might be too young for that one. yeah, right. But this Aisha is from outside Detroit, Michigan, and we met her cruising down the Nile. So on that picture on the left, we're on the Nile River cruising on separate boats. You see that space in between. Our group was on top of our boat. There's a pool. You can see it in the background. There's, a bar up there, seating area, music is playing. Our group is up there laughing and enjoying ourselves. And you know, our group looked like us, right? Y'all know what I mean by that, right? Like if I do this, our group looked like us. The group she was with looked like that, right? So she was an anomaly in that group, but she gravitated over to the counter or over to the railing because our group looked like us. And y'all know how black folks are when we get together. We enjoy ourselves, right? We laugh, we joke, we play some music, but we're reflecting on the day. And by the way, we're on the Nile River. How beautiful is this scenery? So she comes over and she's like, oh man, I wish I would have traveled with y'all. And they end up talking back and forth. And they're like, she asked, well, what group are y'all with? And they said Urban Intellectuals. She said, get out of here. I got the flashcards. Right. So we meet her there. They call me. I'm downstairs doing something, whatever. The wife calls me up. I come upstairs, and they're like, because they were like, oh, the owner or the founder is downstairs. Let me call him up. Bang. I come up and meet her, and we're talking over the railing here and bonding. And then I got a chance to meet her later one-on-one. In the picture on the right, oh, you can't see it. I'll show it in a second. But in the picture on the right, we got a chance to meet. But all she talked about was the experience. She talked about being bonded with your people, having that cultural connection. We're in Kemet, talking about the birthplace of humanity or birthplace of civilization. And the trip that she is on is being told through a lens of ambiguity, let's say, cultural ambiguity, because you know they ain't trying to tell these white folks that I just said they ain't trying to tell these white folks that civilization came from black folks, right? Came from these Africans, right? But then when on our trip, we're having a totally different experience. We're having a totally different lesson. But more importantly, we're doing it with people that look like us, that come from places that we come from. And we're being able to decompress and be seen the entire time, right? So I always tell that story because who you travel with matters. I think that's the most important lesson. Who you travel with matters. And showing up in spaces are centered around our history and our culture, it matters. Like I couldn't imagine being in the dungeons of West Africa with some other folks. I couldn't imagine it. The emotions that are going to go through your heart, the emotions that's going to go through your mind, no matter how reserved of a person you are, you're going to feel a lot in them dungeons. And to be there with somebody else, I just can't imagine it. I can't imagine it. I can't imagine it. And I see individuals in groups that are with mixed crowds, and it's always interesting to me. Now that I've been a few times, I've been into far too many dungeons, to be honest with you. But every time it's still a special moment because it hits you a different way every time. It's just something that you can't get used to. And I couldn't imagine being there with somebody else. It's gotta be incredible. But anyway, come on, we're gonna talk about going to Ghana. I got a quick video for an overview so you can kind of see some of the things that we're gonna go through. Then I'll go through the frequently asked questions, the details, the investment, and answer any Q&A stuff that you have. So let's dive into this one. Welcome to the lively and hospitable nation of Ghana. As you disembark the Kotoka International Airport, your thrilling journey commences. Bid farewell to the hassle of arranging taxis or rental cars. Our team has organized a comfortable private shuttle to swiftly transport you to your hotel. Once you've settled into your cozy accommodations, take a moment to acquaint yourself with our amicable tour team. They'll walk you through the exciting itinerary ahead, ensuring you are fully prepared for the days ahead. With confirmed pickup times and a day schedule in hand, you'll have the remainder of the afternoon to unwind and gear up for the adventures ahead. Tonight, dive into the vibrant colors of Ghana with a delightful dinner at a nearby eatery. Whether your palate prefers vegetarian, vegan, or savory delights, the menu caters to all tastes. It's the perfect chance to sample the culinary wonders that await you on this. Fortunately for you, there's no need to worry about converting your money. Our team will be on hand to assist you every step of the way, ensuring you have the local currency required for your adventures in Ghana. Our exploration truly commences as we delve into the historic thoroughfares of Ghana, Ghana's bustling capital. From the lively, brimming markets to the fresh produce and colorful textiles to the rhythmic beats of the authentic Ghanaian drumming lessons, every corner offers a glimpse into the rich fabric of Ghanaian culture. We'll pay homage to some of the iconic sites, such as Kwame Nkrumah's Memorial Museum, Black Star National Square, and the Independence art symbol of Ghana's illustrious history and promising future. Along the way, we'll indulge in delectable dishes at local entrees, at local eateries, ensuring you're energized for the day's escapades. Our next destination is Kumasi, the esteemed heart of the Ashanti Kingdom. Hop aboard a swift domestic flight from Accra, leaving all the arrangements in our capable hands. Upon arrival, they will be enveloped into an enduring tradition of the Ashanti people. Embark on a journey to the traditional Ardara village for authentic kente weaving and stamping printing encounter. Then venture to a nearby cocoa plant to unravel the mysteries behind Ghana's globally acclaimed cocoa beans. The day concludes with your very own Ashanti naming ceremony and experience to cherish forever. Connect with nature amidst the lush landscapes and the picturesque Avery Botanical Gardens, just a short distance from Accra, amidst verdant foliage and vibrant blossoms. Take a moment to relax and relish in Ghana's natural beauty. Journey to Cape Coast, where history reverberates through the stories and alleys. Trace the footsteps of the enslaved captives at the Slave River and the enslaved dungeons, bearing witness to Ghana's tumultuous past while honoring the resilience of its people. To rejuvenate amidst Ghana's natural splendor, embark on an exhilarating canopy walk at Kakum National Park. Traverse narrow bridges suspended high above the forest floor amidst the lush greenery. For those seeking tranquility, an outdoor lounge beckons. Return to Accra and indulge in some retail therapy at the bustling Makola markets on Oxford Street. From vivid textiles to traditional handcrafts, there's a plethora of treasures awaiting discovery. If shopping isn't your forte, unwind at the hotel or delve into the city's vibrant nightlife and fashion scene. Before bidding adieu to this captivating land, venture into the Shy Hills resource reserves for one last adventure with Ghana's natural allure. Explore the rugged terrain, the diverse wildlife, soaking in the tranquility of its surroundings. As your odyssey draws to a close, savor the precious moments forged in Ghana, whether you're homeland bound or onto your next escapade. We eagerly anticipate welcoming you back on another Sankofa Experience by Urban Intellectuals. Until we meet again, safe. Oh, got cut off there. So that's an overview of like what you're gonna see. I'll dig a little bit further into each of the days, but are you ready for this life-changing experience, right? It's definitely something that I believe everybody deserves to have. It's an experience that I think everybody wants to have. I think it's an experience that everybody will love as well. One thing that wasn't mentioned was the food. Man, I love West African food. I got to tell you, Ethiopia got the cards cut out for them because I've just been turned on to these West African spices and I want to see, I like Ethiopian food, so I'm going to see what the authentic stuff is like. But man, it's nothing like tasting it directly on the continent of the motherland. Everything is just fresher. Oh, the flavors are just way more vibrant. I can't wait. I didn't realize I was a foodie until we really started traveling Africa, y'all. So I don't know. I'm a full-fledged foodie out here, right? Their jollof rice is the best. Yeah, out of the like, man, it is like next level. Although out of I gotta say, you're gonna have to get to Senegal because I think Senegal got them licked. Man, woo, Senegal shows out. Oh man, West Africa show out in general, right? So I'm really excited to hear y'all stories and y'all thoughts. But why join us on the Sankofa Experience, right? You got to travel with other Black people. We just say it, right? We say it. You got to travel with Black folks. Experience the motherland from an Afrocentric focus. Who you travel with matters. If you travel with a different group, they gonna whitewash the information. Travel in safety with experienced and trusted advisors, operators, guides, and staff. Connect with your history. Man, I got like gas, right? See what the world has to offer outside of the U.S. Experience a culture like you've never experienced before, but also feel like you just come home. Find a new family. How many of y'all are solo travelers that maybe you might not have someone to travel with you on these adventures? We have so many solo travelers that come alone but leave with new family because they found some people on the trip and start to connect and end up traveling with these individuals. Yeah, Kevin, I'm telling you, you come one, the experience is so thick that it's gonna force everybody to be together because on those bus rides on back in between, and you're having dinner and lunch with one another, and you're conversing and talking about the experiences. Um, it's just heavy, man, and it drives true friendship and bonds. And we've seen it inside of like our WhatsApp groups, and folks are taking next trips together. Which one you going on next, right? They coming together. So you come solo, but you end up with a travel family. And that's one thing that I know I'm really, really proud of, forging these types of relationships. Because a lot of times in our family and our friend circles, folks ain't interested, right? A lot of y'all told me like, well, I travel, it just wasn't on my radar, right? Well, the negative news and the danger and the fear kind of get to me. That's what's happening in your friend circles, which is probably why you end up being a solo traveler, right? So kudos to y'all. I love it. I actually happen to love solo travel. Because this is gonna shock y'all. I can talk a bit. I can talk a bit. So, I end up in spots. I ain't got no problem striking up conversations and making connections with people. I go with my toddler though. All right, Condola, that's all right. You know, that's all good, but you'll definitely come back with some folks that you know and have some fun with. So check this one out. You'll feel
In America, my name is Crystal Taylor, and I was born and raised in East St. Louis, Illinois, and currently live in the south suburbs of Chicago. But just now today, I have been given my Ghanaian name of Adwa Mansa. It's Adwa Mansa. Mansa. Adwa Mansa. Mansa. Adwa Mansa. Mansa. And today, when I saw what was going to happen on this trip, I knew that this would be the moment that would break me. Because I wanted to be here for so long. And at 46, I'm finally actualizing this dream. And I feel such a connection, such a warmth and welcome from our African family. And it means so much because in America, we've been taught that we're not liked here, we're not wanted here. But there's been nothing but love and excitement to see us. And today, to be given my name from the village chiefs, I can't explain how it feels. And I can't stop crying because it feels so good. Because I feel so loved here. It feels like home. And I'm just grateful. I'm really glad that I've had this experience. And I just couldn't ask for anything else.
We cut it off, but she was like, I knew I was, you knew I was going to end up crying here, right? But it's just a beautiful experience inside and out. When you get there, she's not lying, right? You're going to really feel like you are at home. Um, Honestly, the second day there, like she was like, we should move here. right? Like it's like that is the vibe and the feeling when you get there, especially if you have these experiences. So, all right, let me just run through some of the frequently asked questions, right? So, are these trips child friendly? Absolutely. Is there a child discount? Yes, ages 5 to 11. There's 40% off for the children. It's free for children under the ages of 5, but there are some fees associated with some of the country travel and some other things, right? So there'll be a slight fee for children under 5. Are these trips adult friendly? Absolutely. I've already told you I've been there with my dad in his 90s. And so they're senior friendly. Yes, that's what I wanted to get to. Is there a lot of physical movement? Yes, there is, man. We're going to be moving around. But if you're like, oh, those suspension bridges that I saw over the rainforest, that's too much for me. There is a shaded patio that you can hang out in with a little, bar. They got refreshments, they got ice cream, they got all the stuff that you can hang out. And of course, we're not going to leave you alone anywhere on the continent. Our team will be able to take care of that. Ashley, can you erase that and stop people from drawing? I don't know why folks insist on doing stuff like that. But is there a lot of physical movement? Do we offer payment plans? Yes, we do. You will see actually when you sign up, you will see your actual payment schedule all the way through completion. When you sign up, there's no prepayment penalties, by the way. Is international airfare included? It is not. So we will tell you the airport that you need to land at. When you land there, we will pick you up from there, take you to the hotel, take you on all of the excursions and around, and then take you back to that back to that airport. What languages do they speak? English, fortunately or unfortunately, is the first language of the country. Everyone speaks English, so you won't have any problems with that. But all of our tour guides will speak the local dialect. So ain't nobody going to be plotting and planning behind your back. And these folks make handsome money from the organization. So they understand now that it is in their best interest to make sure that you are okay. So that one, you will come back, and two, you will bring more people, right? I don't know how to erase that. All right. I can't stand it, y'all. I'm sorry. That's just how my brain works. It don't work that way. Okay. All right. Please don't make me like ban folks. All right. Let's just have a good presentation. If you don't like it, it's okay. You could just leave. We ain't got to mark on the stuff and say ignorant things. Okay. All right. This is what I was talking about. The children under 5 is free. If they sleep in the parents' room, airfare is based on airline requirements. Additional charges for luggage and seats may apply. This is not tailored to children under 5, so it will be your responsibility to keep them occupied. You've got to keep that in mind. We don't have babysitters on deck, so it's going to be your responsibility. Do you pair guests? No, not at this time. We don't, but we will make the list available. If y'all want to try to pair up, you can. If you don't have a travel partner now, you can sign up for a single and then add a travel buddy later if you convince a friend or a family member, or you connect with somebody to connect on the trip. You can do that as well. Can non-American citizens join the trip? Absolutely. We've had people from all over the world joining us. All you have to do is get to the airport that we're going to. How much money will you need on the trip? We got $300 to $500. I'm gonna tell you, we need to bump that. You're gonna need $500 to $800 because y'all like to shop. You might even need more. We might need to just double it. Oh, I did double it, right? Well, let's say $600 to $1,000 because y'all like to shop. And by y'all, I mean me, right? It's not really y'all, it's me. But there you're gonna, especially in West Africa, you're gonna see so many things that you're gonna want to wear. You're gonna want to take home. You're gonna want to buy for somebody. The Royals put me back out of they swept out of the off into the VIP room in Egypt, y'all. She's a big shopper, but no, you just get caught up in the moment. So just think about that. And one thing that I would say before you even get there is leave your debit card at home. Make sure you get you a credit card, just for safety. Right? Debit cards, it's way more difficult to get your money back if something goes wrong on a debit card than on a credit card. Now, you you can't swipe your card everywhere. You can't. That was a cannot swipe your card everywhere. In fact, we'll have cultural trainings leading up to the trips, but literally on the trip, we will tell you, hey, it's okay to use your card here. And that would be basically at the major hotels that we stay at. You can use your card on the premises if you're buying something or something like that. But while we're out in the marketplace, I don't care what they got, what type of machine. No, don't bring your card out. We're only dealing with cash. Yeah. Cash is always king, right? Because it is what it is. And our team will help you with the conversion rates and all of that good stuff. If you ever have any questions while you're bartering is a big thing. You can always grab one of our team members and they'll assist you. But we'll have conversations leading up to the trip to help you through with all of this. Did I get through all of those? No. Money, travel insurance. We cannot make it mandatory, but we insist that you get cancel anytime travel insurance with medical, right? Somebody put medical in the comments because sometimes we're going to leave that off. Cancel anytime travel insurance with medical, right? Because if something happens, 9 times out of 10, probably 99 times out of 100, whatever your U.S. medical coverage is, they're not going to cover you in a foreign country. And what they're going to want in the foreign country is cash. They're going to want the payment in full up hand before they do anything, right? So the way around all of that is to pay the little extra money, a couple of $100, and get you cancel anytime travel insurance with medical. That is the most important thing. Hopefully nothing ever happens to you. Hopefully you don't need it, right? But it's just like any type of insurance. The only reason you're paying for it is because stuff does happen, right? I know we had one member like trip walking up or down a flight of stairs and he like broke his ankle. And it was like crazy, but he had cancel anytime travel insurance with medical. Not only did he and his family, he got treatment, he got evacuated, they got sent home. He got a full refund and he got an opportunity to come back and have his full experience because they paid the couple of extra dollars to get to cancel anytime travel insurance with medical. All right. So I want to just hear me on the pause on that because I want you to make sure that you insure your trip when you come with us, right? All right. Can you add somebody to your room later? Yes. So that's what I mentioned. If you're a traveler, if you're a solo traveler, you can sign up individually. And then you can add someone to your room later, right? And then you'll get the dual occupancy rate. Can I purchase the excursions later? Don't worry about that. Everything is automatically included now. So we've upgraded that. Which airline should I use? It always depends, your flight preferences, your points I play the point game. So, I'm all in Delta right now. So I'm usually flying Delta, but and they're affiliates. But honestly, my point game with Delta comes from Amex. So whomever gets the best Amex points, like I just booked my flight today, actually, to Ethiopia for next month. And I'm going through Air Canada, right? Because my Amex points transferred over there. So it just kind of depends. There are federal regulations. Lord Jesus, y'all president is kind of messing all of that confidence up, but most of the airlines have all of the airlines have guidelines and rules and regulations that they have to follow. So I'm going to just say I don't really think it matters, but flying internationally, there are only a certain group of airlines that do it, and they're all the same, right? Now, some planes might be newer than others. Preference is your thing, right? Air Emirates is definitely going to be the nicer of the flights, right? So it's just a kind of a opportunity for you to make that decision. Where am I at? Airlines, okay, fly into Accra, Ghana. Where do I fly into? You're flying into Accra, Kokoto International Airport. I'm probably butchering that name, but it's Accra, Ghana. You'll see that when you're searching. What time should you land? Between 12 and 4 p.m. is ideal. If you're a little bit early, you're a little bit late. Either way, we're going to pick you up. Ahead of the flight, we're going to get your flight information. And we'll know when you fly in and we'll know when you fly out, so we can coordinate our schedule and make sure that you're there in plenty of time. What's your what time? Okay, I answered that. Vaccinations, yellow fever or doctor explanation exemption, right? Yellow fever is the only vaccination that's required for Ghana unless you have a doctor's note. Now, known reasons for doctor note and saying that you don't have to get it. I just know the elders. If you're like, I don't want to do vaccinations, you can get an exemption. Um, Others, I'm not sure. I would say talk to your doctor. I would say talk to your doctor before you even decide to take the yellow fever vaccination. I think that's an important conversation for y'all to have. I don't want to say nothing. I have my yellow fever vaccination that was done in 2017. It's good for 10 years. And they're talking about not making people renew after 10 years now. So hopefully that's a thing. Can you drink the water? No, don't drink the water. There'll be bottled water everywhere that you need. You can brush your teeth with the water, but you're not consuming and drinking it. So when I get into countries where you can't drink the water, I don't eat the ice either, right? If the water's out, the ice is out, right? But the hotels that we stay in will generally have filtered water, but you'll get that confirmation when you get there, right? So ask, ask, ask. And when in doubt, just get bottled water and leave it alone, right? But when you're out and about, we'll have bottled water on the buses for you, so you don't even have to worry about that. A visa is needed for Ghana, but we'll provide you all the details to help you assist you with that. A yellow fever vaccination is required, again, unless you have an exemption from your doctor. All right. Got one.
My name is Ya Anima. That was the name I was given today. It was an honor to experience the naming ceremony and be given an African name. This is a once-in-a-lifetime blessing. I am grateful. I am overjoyed. I was full of emotions. My experience will be one that I would never forget, life-changing. I see the children walking around. They remind me, I can see myself in them as a child growing up. Being that I'm from Charleston, South Carolina, in the low country line area of Johns Island. So this here, it kind of like takes me back into time before they developed, because I grew up on a dirt road. I grew up on a farm. We grew vegetables in farms. So I can relate to this environment here. So it was an honor.
Yeah, that's good. Like I said, Charleston, South Carolina, right? She talked about the low country for you. That was a little throwback, right? But beautiful experience there. Ghana is calling you home. Come on and hang out with us for sure in West Africa. But hey, what's included in the tour? Oh, Ashley, I see you sent me something. I missed that. Oh, I missed it. There we go. Oh, you sent it to me. Oh, how long is the flight? It depends on Sharon. It depends on if you have a direct flight or if you're going around the world, right? And let's just tell it what it is. You want a direct flight, it's going to cost you a little bit more, but a direct flight from, I believe it's New York, JFK. JFK? One of those New York airports is like 8 hours, 9 hours, something like that on a direct flight. But if you end up connecting through Europe, you'll end up on probably like a 14-hour flight, but it's layover time. It's not like a long flight. It's just how long is the layover. I've seen some flights 22 hours, 24 hours, but again, it's the layover and the connections. If you got 2 or 3 connections, it could definitely make it longer. But if you want a direct flight, I know you can go out of JFK, and it's a pretty quick flight. I mean, 9, 10 hours is up and down. It sounds crazy, Right? If you ever been to California, it's like going to California and coming back, right? At least I'm in Chicago. It's like 4 hours to California um, on a flight, but it's really not that bad. I'm recognizing that a lot of people agonize over the flight time. But if you break it down like this, let's say you got a 12-hour flight. Let's just go in the middle, right? You get on the flight, you're excited. It's generally going to be, in the middle of the day, probably not in the middle of the day, or probably at night, right? Is probably when you're going to take it. So you're going to get on the flight. They're going to feed you. You're excited, but you're going to eat. It's late. You're going to take a nap. You're going to take some sleep. You're going to wake up. You're still going to be flying. You're going to be like, man, I'm still flying. But then you watch a movie. That's 2 more hours. You have a little bit something to eat. It might be breakfast time. You have a little bit of coffee. Might chat with a neighbor for a minute, read your book, take some notes. I always take my notebook. I think it's like great thinking time to be in the air. You watch another movie, take another nap. Next thing you know, you landed and you're there, right? It's really not that bad. But you have to make sure that you stand up, that you keep the blood circulating. We do recommend that you have like the compression socks and all of that, particularly the older that you are. That's very important. And standing up and stretching and even walking the aisles is something that's important. And you'll see people doing that. So it's not like you're going to stand out. Everyone is going to absolutely know what you're doing, right? My knees done got tight, right? Like, listen, I ain't, I ain't no spring chicken no more, right? So I definitely get that as well. But I've generally gotten used to it. But if it's your first time, it can be daunting. But we'll be having these conversations leading up to it. But I think the most important thing to remember is why you got on the plane in the first place, right? You didn't get on there to conquer the fear of a long flight. I just booked back from Ethiopia. Like the direct flight is 17 hours, right? Like that's a flight, right? All this is airtime, right? Right. This is airtime, 17 hours. But even that it pales in the comparison of the experience that's ahead of me, right? Like I'm not gonna let something that I haven't even experienced in real life yet defeat me from going to have the experience that I want to have. I want to go. I got so many questions about Ethiopia. And the first time I went to West Africa, first time I went to Ghana, we went into I think our layover was in Frankfurt, Germany, because dad had been to Germany before. He loves German beer, right? So I'm like, man, we land, I'm gonna get you some German beer, right? And remember again, he's 87, right? So an 87-year-old on the flight is probably way different than a 47-year-old. I'm 48 now, right? Ain't even probably, it's way different. It hits the body way different. But it was that experience of going to the continent for the first time that I know that got him through it. Because when we got there and we got off the plane, and if y'all really follow Urban Intellectuals, you see me and Dad on the trips, you'll often see me behind him, and I record like over his shoulder because I'm always trying to figure out what draws his eye, what is he looking at, what is he paying attention to. Um, I just be wanting to know, right? But when we got into Africa, I was over his shoulder, and then I'm rotating around and I'm capturing his moments, and he's waiting on the luggage to come around, and I just remember him like standing. He always stand there with his hand on his hip, and he'd just be shaking his head, drinking it in, and then the first time we went outside, he had to just stop, but when you get in that place and all you see is black people, it's like it's like you in the Twilight Zone, to be honest with you, because it's like, man, black people everywhere, from the police to the sanitation worker to the head of I don't know, the FAA, the head of the airport, the taxi drivers, like everybody looks like you. And it's just a wild feeling to take in. So I love to see that. So that's what I try to think about when I'm getting on these trips, right? Like, why am I going? What is on the other side for me? And it's generally just a beautiful experience. And the food. I told y'all I'm a foodie now. But you get it, man. You're gonna get this West African jollof. You're gonna get this from the Akan people. You're gonna be like, man, whatever I done had over there in the States, they ain't making that the same. But it's just a beautiful experience, right? Okay, so let me keep going. What's included in the tour, right? Ground transportation to and from the destinations. We talked about that. Double occupancy or single occupancy. You can get hotel upgrades if you got feeling your bougie, right? We got all of that. They got 5-star everything, right? First class suites and all of that good stuff. Wi-Fi, spa, restaurant, bar, room service, fitness center, swimming pool, meeting rooms, air conditioned, wheelchair accessible, and breakfast is included as well, but everything is available for you. What's not included, your passport, your medical travel insurance, y'all heard that, visa, vaccinations, drinks, lunch, and dinner are not included. You'll be responsible for those. Travel insurance, gratuities. We definitely try to tip the people in and around, right? Y'all used to tip culture. It's not really a whole thing over there, but we try to show our appreciation for the individuals that is helping us. But here's another video for you, right?
Able to been the same.
Yeah.
And Felix and
Yeah, she was talking about the guide that is one of the guys there, Mr. Morris, was there, just talking about his knowledge of the place and what he's sharing with the community. Here's another thought and a lesson about Slave River, right? This is one of the locations that you'll see. All right. I forgot. Y'all can't hear this one, right? Actually, this is the one. Oh, y'all weren't hearing none of that. Okay. All right. I'm just talking about this experience. So in the video beforehand, she was talking about Mr. Morris, right? So this was her experience about Mr. Morris and one of the guys that'll be greeting you along the tour, while you're on the bus, telling you what you see, getting you acclimated to the area, talking about the history of the people. And she was just showing her appreciation for the information that Mr. Morris was sharing. In this video, and I'll let it play without the sound because apparently it can't be heard. We can't figure out exactly what's going on. But this is while I was there on Slave River. So Slave River is something that we experienced before you go into your first dungeon in West Africa. And what you experience there is what the ancestors experienced before they went into those dungeons. Now, they used to stay in those dungeons for up to 3 months. And it's a brutal experience. But before they got there, they came to this river. And what we do is recreate the walk through this path to get through this river. So that's what you see ahead of me there with the people when they get to it, you'll see in a moment again, right? So they're walking through these places to get you to the river, right? The river is on the other side there. Many of them are barefooted, having the experience that the ancestors held. Oh, you're beginning to hear the sound. Can you hear it now? It's just something that's really overpowering. It's an experience that words doesn't really do it justice. You just have to. I often say it, it's you that's important because you need to come back and make that time. Oh, shoot. Y'all watching me? That's hilarious. I'm over here watching. I'm thinking y'all seeing the screen. All right. All right, man. Y'all know the veterans know now. Freddie is not tech savvy. So that's my excuse. I'm running with it. Let me know if y'all can hear this.
Gonna trouble the water.
You only hear the music. Okay. So I'm explaining again what I was saying, that we're recreating the experience of walking to Slave River, right? Which is the last bath. So imagine being caught somewhere in your homeland, being shackled and walked down through this area, and then bathe literally in that river for the last time. That's the last bath that you're gonna have before entering into the dungeons and then entering onto those floating graveyards, right? Those floating graveyards known as the ships that haul the cargo across the Atlantic Ocean into the areas, into Charleston, South Carolina, into Savannah, Georgia, into the Caribbean, depending on the boat stop. And this is kind of what I'm talking about, but this is an opportunity for the people to connect. There's a lot of special things that happen here, but you really feel the connection. It's just a beautiful experience for us to reconnect. Many of the people are barefoot, walking this trail, having this experience. This is a special ceremony that we do. I won't give it all away for you. I gotta give you something. I'm glad you can't hear it all, actually. But it is something that sets up going into those dungeons of West Africa. It is a crazy experience. Hopefully you can hear some of this one. Okay. Y'all hear the music, but are you gonna hear the talking? I don't think they're gonna hear the talking. I'm gonna skip it. Y'all can hear the music. There's no talking yet. All right, there's talking now. Can you hear the talking? Okay, I will skip this. Sis kills this. We gotta figure this out. Okay, she kills that. Anyway, she kills that piece. She does like some poetry for you there. But anyway, here's what you've been waiting on anyway. Here's the crux of the matter. Here's the investment, right? So $48.74 for double occupancy, $55.74 for single occupancy, and $29.25 for children ages 5 to 11. You can sign up and lock in your spot for $199. I wish you could have got that last one, but that's fine. So that is the numbers. As we always say, the only thing that's missing is you, right? You should be right here in that spot. And the only question is, will you be our next traveling success story? So here, what's the dates, Freddie? Here are the dates that we have available right now in 2025. If you want to come with us this year, July 8th through the 16th, November 14th through the 22nd, December 27th through January 4th. If you want to travel with me while I'm there, I'll be on the December 27th through the January 4th trip. I am looking forward to New Year's in the motherland. I can't wait to have that experience. So we're going to be bringing in 2026 together. If you decide to jump on that trip, there are a couple of dates available in 2026. When you click the link, right? Sister Ashley has dropped in the comments, sankofaexperiences.com/travel Ghana. You can see all of the list of offerings that are available in 2025 and 2026. So we'll be looking forward to hosting you there. Got another my closeout video. Oh man, you don't hear me here either? Ah, I thought y'all heard me on that one, right? So I'm closing it out. It's a beautiful experience. Um, Inviting y'all to come on and join us. That's what I'm saying. Sister Anita, I may be there in November. I don't know. I just the trips that I mentioned. Every time you see me say I mention these trips, these are the ones that I've committed to going, right? Like I'm going on them trips. Like I'm gonna be in Brazil, right? I'll be in Nigeria. I'll be in Ghana for New Year's, but I plan on spending the back half of the year in Africa, right? So if we got a trip going on, like I'll come on over to the country, depending on where we at, to hang out, right? So that is something that I'm looking forward to. I'm sorry the videos ain't playing. We got to figure out why can't we get the videos to play. It's just certain videos, which is so strange. We was watching videos the whole day, and then these certain videos don't work. But I may be there, Dr. Anita. I didn't realize you were coming on that November trip. So maybe we'll see, right? There's worse things to do than to be in Africa, hanging out and enjoying good people, right? And eating the food. Listen, but yeah, I don't want to blow it. I don't want to overhype the food, and then y'all get over there like, Brother Freddie don't got a good palate. No, y'all gonna love it though. But all right, so again, we talked about this. Why should you join us? Travel with other Black people, experience the motherland from Afrocentric experience. Focus. Travel in safety with experienced and trusted operators and guides and staff. Connect with our history. See what the world has to offer outside of the U.S., especially in these times. Experience a culture like nothing you've ever experienced before, but also feel like you just came home. And find a new family for our solo travelers. Our previous guests have created bonds for a lifetime. But this is not for you. If you just, you like Trump's America, I don't know what else to say. It's not for you if this just ain't your time, right? If you're not feeling the calling to come home and reconnect, this is not for you. But this is for you if you're ready. If you understand the importance of reconnecting with the continent, if you're ready to have that experience that you've always dreamed about, this is definitely for you. So how much is a Sankofa experience worth? Of course, this is a priceless endeavor. But if all this did was gave you an opportunity to check that major checkbox off of your to-do list, would it be worth it, right? If all it did was gave you an opportunity to reconnect with the motherland and humanize the people on the other side of the continent and reconnect our families, right? We are brothers and sisters in this global African diaspora. We might not be a monolith. We're not a monolith. And I hear my community when we say that, but we monolithically getting our butts kicked all over the globe. So I think we got enough reason to unite and come together. And all it takes to lock in your spot is $199. That's it. The full amount is payable via a no-fee payment plan. So you're not being charged extra money for drawing it out a month over month leading up to your trip. The only caveat is the full price needs to be paid 30 days before you sign off. Before you send off into your trip. Again, the important numbers are $48.74 for per person double occupancy, $55.74 for single occupancy, and $29.25 for children ages 5 to 11. Again, with just $199 down for a deposit. And it's important to remember, Sister Brother Kevin says, I'm ready. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. But it's important to remember, price is not going back down, y'all. Like, I don't know. I just don't want you to wait. They all going up. Every day they go up. Nothing is waiting for us. So, Brother Kevin, I appreciate you. Let's jump in, lock in your price, and get it down. Dinner, what's the cost should I expect for Senegal? Really in West Africa, I mean, if you really really want to splurge, you're gonna spend about $20, right? Like that's and I mean, like you eating. Like I don't know if you can eat it all for $20, right? So I would comfortably say somewhere between $12 and $15. Just depends on what your palate is and what you want to eat. Um, but the food is coming fresh out that ocean. When I tell you, if you ordering that seafood, boy, let me tell you, it's something special. Really, everything tastes dramatically different. And oh, since you going to Senegal, man, you just get ready. You get ready. But you're gonna be at a resort on the beach, uh, eating eating some fresh fish and lobster and whatever else that your heart desire. I sip wine. I'm a wine drinker. With some of the best views of the Atlantic Ocean that you can imagine. It's just a beautiful experience there in West Africa. We are really cheating it. These places would be crazy price here in the United States. Thank you so much. Considering the trip, please, Roxanne, do just that. If you have any questions, you can shoot an email to support@sankofaexperiences.com. That's sankofaexperiences.com. I'm excited for the trip to Ghana. Yeah, Teresa, I'm excited for you. I want to see your pictures when you get done. Well, shoot, while you there, please tag us. The cost here doesn't include the flight to a crowd, right? No, Gillian, it doesn't. It doesn't include the flight, but the flight isn't that bad, right? Particularly, let me say this to y'all because Freddie loves to wait for the last minute. Don't be like Freddie. Remember, I just said I just bought my flight to Ethiopia. We leave on March the 11th. I just bought my flight. Now, if I would have bought my flight on June the 11th, it would have been a totally different price, right? I am paying points. I was surprised that it was that affordable. Honestly, though, going to Senegal, I know particularly if I would have ordered like 8 months out, I remember the flight being $800 round trip, direct flight from it was either Dulles or New York to Senegal, direct flight, return trip, $800, right? Like that's crazy. Um, but going into Ghana, I would expect anywhere from $1,200 to $1,800, maybe less. Again, if you order, depending on how far you order out. Freddie doesn't have an executive assistant and definitely needs one because this boy cannot be trusted to do what he needs to do. I can't tell y'all how long Ashley has had on my teamwork trying to tell me. Teamwork is our project management tool we use. Book your flight, book your flight, book your flight, book your flight, right? Guess who don't book their flight? Guess who like to overpay? Apparently this guy. Apparently I just don't like money and I like to give it away to airlines. That's my thing, right? Definitely will tag UI. Lucky you, my flight was in 20. Oh, Kalanda, no. What's happening? What you flying? First class? You got two passengers though. Ghana visa has to be applied for 90 days before the trip. Yes. You can track flights on Google Flights. Yeah. Go to Google Flights and put it in that what you're interested in. They'll ding you. They say purchasing on a Tuesday is better than most days. I talked about the cost of dinners. And that's just depending on where you're at, Kalanda. Sometimes you're gonna catch dinner for $10. Like Africa is wild, man. The prices like vary, just depends on where you are. Um, but you're not gonna break the bank, I promise you that. If you spend $30, $40, like you probably done showed out. You done did the most, which I do the most sometimes. So don't worry about that. Track flights. Thank you. Very informative. Yeah, I appreciate y'all being here. I got a little bit more to share. I don't think I finished the whole presentation. I jumped off talking about something as I normally do. Oh, there we go. Raise your hand if you think that if you are securing your spot. So I've seen a couple of people saying they're interested. I appreciate y'all. The only question that you need to answer is, are you worth it, right? This is the experience that's ahead of you. Oh my God, that lower right-hand corner. By the way, that's Africa, y'all. This is a rooftop spot that we enjoy our dinner at, and you are going to be flabbergasted up there. And I can tell you, I had the salmon. It was absolutely spectacular. It was $21. But the view, this is the tallest building in Accra that we'll have dinner at. This is our whole group there that you see. I think you can see my head leaning in the bottom right corner, trying to get into the picture. And if you jump to our page, you can actually see all of the details. But oh my God, there's a rooftop pool over there. I was telling the wife, like, we're gonna need to stay in this building, right? It's a beautiful place though, and like I ain't paying through the spot. It's just beautiful, man. Africa is dope. But this is the spot on the lower left-hand corner is the naming ceremony that you will have down in Kumasi. You have something similar to that. Upper left-hand corner is Kwame Nkrumah's mausoleum. Kwame Nkrumah is the first president of Ghana. He is the one that beckoned W.E.B. Du Bois to come. And W.E.B. Du Bois is actually, that's where he passed, and his body is buried there. They turned his home into a museum. We'll see that as well. In the middle is Dad and I at Nkrumah's mausoleum right there on the property. It's just a beautiful experience. Take action. Tomorrow's not promised. We don't know what's going to happen. Shoot, we don't know what's going to happen with this country, let alone what's going to happen anywhere. Considering 2026, yeah, Faye, come on and dive in, get in with us. But again, it just takes you $199 that you have to put down. Start getting ready for your Black History travel experience. Again, here are the dates that you will see. But if you click the link that Sister Ashley drops in the comments, you will have access to all of them. You can just kind of make that decision. My only promise is if you sign up tonight, for $199, your price is locked in, right? You can change things later, but that price is locked in. But all I can tell you is the price continuously rises as this global economy gets crazy. So locking in your price is really, really important, and you can take advantage of that. July, November, December of this year, March, July, or September, December of next year, 2026 is what we are offering. Same deal, $48.47 for double occupancy per person, $55.74 single occupancy, $29.25 for children ages 5 to 11. If you have any questions, is there anything that I can answer for you that I didn't cover, that I missed in the comments, that I'm blind, that I was talking too much, that I skipped over? Let me know. How much is the cost for the visa? Sharon, that's a good question. I believe the expedited visa, I don't want to guess. Hold on. I want to see them out close, actually. Yeah. So $55 to $110. So $55 would be a single-use visa, and $110, I think it's actually $125. That was the number in my mind. $125 for the expedited visa. I always do the expedite mine. Yeah, I don't like to wait. I'll be nervous about the stuff. Oh, there we go. All right, Sister Ashley is on it, man. Listen, don't listen to me. Listen to Ashley, right? So she said 110 on the high end. Yeah, okay. Oh, no, expedited is 140. I was right. It was a little, well, I wasn't right, but it was a little bit more. I would go with the expedited. I just like to have stuff in hand. I got like a crazy visa story. I'm not on camera. I got a crazy visa story I'll tell one day. Like I flew to DC trying to go get my visa because it was like 2 days before my trip and I ain't have it. And I was super nervous. And I flew to DC on the red eye, stayed there all day and flew out that night without my visa. And I was sick. This was in 2017. Um, First time I was going, Dad had his. He was ready to go, and all I'm thinking is, man, this man is gonna have to go by himself, or he ain't gonna be able to go. So that's what made me like just fly in and man, I sat at the visa off. I sat at the Ghanaian embassy all day. Like they were like, you're just gonna sit here all day. I was like, give me my visa and I'll leave. And I left without the visa. I got home the next day. The visa showed up. Like I know they didn't do it. Like, but I'm like, why didn't you tell me it was in the mail? Like nobody gonna tell me. Like, bruh, go home. It's in the mail, right? Like, I don't know, but anyway, that was crazy, man. That was stressful. I don't like that. So I think that's why I pushed expedited visa. Because I had a scary experience. Surprise, surprise, I waited to the last minute. I know this shocks y'all, right? Like, but apparently that's my MO. Yeah, I'll go with the expedited visa. Kevin, do that. Did you do visa on arrival in Senegal? I don't feel like you need a visa in Senegal. Ashley, is that right? Do American citizens. Yeah, you don't need a visa in Senegal. If you're staying under 90 days, you're fine with the American passport. I was like, yeah, I'm like, I don't remember a visa in Senegal. And then we go to the Gambia on that same trip, but you can get you don't got to worry about it. Like, you just come to Senegal. When we cross the border, you can get the visa right there. It's basically just a cash grab. I think it's like 25 bucks. You pay the 25 bucks, they let you into the Gambia. We're there for a couple of days and then you out. So it's not really a big deal. The American passport is it gets you into a lot of places without hassle. Ghana just ain't came around to it yet. I don't know if they really understand or appreciate the full breadth of travel capacity that could open up if they ease these visa restrictions. I think they're coming around to it. For context, 2% of the world travel comes through Africa, the whole continent. 2% of world travel goes through Africa, right? And most of that is South Africa, Egypt, and Morocco. And that's sustaining economies, right? So I think that other countries are going to start easing their visa restrictions so that they can open up the world travel, particularly as Africans in the diaspora get more interested in the continent. At least that's my thought. That would be if I was running the country, and I know some countries like Egypt, their main industry is tourism. So why would you make it difficult for people to get into your country, right? I mean, you got it. Oh, terrorism and all of this. You got to watch that too, but your people got to eat as well, or you're gonna have domestic issues, right? Um, yeah, but I also hearken our community to understand the global transformation that's happening. Africa's going through the Industrial Revolution. The Industrial Revolution in America made America a world power, and something that's 10 to 20 times larger is happening in Africa right now. Um, so I view reconnection important for, history and understanding, but really for the future, because I want to connect so that my family becomes comfortable with this space. My children become comfortable. I start doing business over there. They start engaging. And then all of a sudden, I know my grandchildren are plugged into this budgeting economy that's just growing by leaps and bounds. Like the stats will absolutely startle you. So I think that's important. The Gambia, yeah, Gambia is visa on arrival. Yeah, don't worry about that, Kalanda. I'm sorry, I missed that. You are good. Our family's for visa came in 2 days before our flight. Yeah, so you had the same worry as I did, Adela. Yeah. Citizens do not need a visa for Senegal. Okay, yeah, I'm right. A very good friend of mine has dual citizenship in Ghana. Kevin, I want that. I don't have dual citizenship in Ghana, but I have dual citizenship in Sierra Leone, which allows me visa-free access to West African nations now. So I'm super excited about that. But I want it in Ghana because I plan to move there. I can stay there in Ghana. It's just, you want to be a citizen. So, and I'm trying to collect passports. That's what I'm up to. Have you ever heard about an African American settlement encourage African Americans to return to the motherland? Yeah. There's a new movement for that. Assets over liabilities is behind a development, I think like 200 acres, but this dates back to the 60s, right? This dates back to when W.B. Du Bois came to Ghana. Again, you're going to go to his home there, W.B. Du Bois' home and mausoleum there in Ghana. And literally on the property is an African American community, um, like organization there on the property there at his home and mausoleum there in Accra, Ghana, bringing the African American community there because Kwame Nkrumah, one, called for W.B. Du Bois to come home or to come to Ghana and finish his life's work there, right? His library is there. It's a beautiful experience. But Kwame Nkrumah went to Lincoln went to Lincoln College, right? The HBCU. There he graduated. He's Phi Beta Sigma member organization. He has a direct connection with the African Americans, and he had the call to bring African Americans there. So since the 70s, there have been large settlements of African Americans there. And there are African American communities there in Ghana. Again, long before Assets Over Lie. I love those brothers. I love what they're doing. So I'm not trying to diss them. I'm actually interested in what they got building and growing, right? But when you go over there, there are deposits of African Americans already there, already connected. If you're in the Divine Nine, they over there. When I went in 2017, I was in a Facebook group and I was like, what? The Q's over there? Like, you got to be kidding me. I put out the clarion call. The Q showed up at the hotel, like, dog, we outside. Like, what? Like, I come downstairs and went outside with the Qs, right? Like there, but the Deltas are there. Like, oh man, everybody is there. All of that is there. All of that is there. And much, much more, right? I ain't in every organization, but I know that they are there. People are branching out outside of America. America is nice. It's dope. You make your money. But people are retiring elsewhere because their money goes so much further. And like I was mentioning meals, and meal costs, $10, $20 or whatever it might be, sometimes less. But that's because we eating on the tourism trail, right? And I'm just being blunt and honest with you, but we got to make sure that you're comfortable, right? You got to have food that you're comfortable with. You're vegan and this and that. But once you get there and you get comfortable, you gonna know where to go and what to eat and all of that. And then everything changes, right? The prices dramatically fall. And that's just what it is anywhere that you travel. But if we took you to more super authentic locations, you know what I'm saying? You might not have the same experience because it might not be up to a standard that you're used to. But as you live there, things will change, right? I don't know. Hopefully, y'all are with me on that. But I love to go into the communities. I love to get off the beaten path. And we do that. We do some of that, right? Like 80-20, right? Let you have some experience, but Freddie's a little bougie, right? Like, so Freddie like bougie stuff too. So I need that as well. Okay, that was the community. Oh, he's from Cincinnati. I didn't know that. I didn't know that, Kevin. How long did it take to get your passport? Ooh, it's been so long since I got my passport. Y'all, okay, 4 to 6 weeks. There you go. 4 to 6 weeks on the passport. Not us, the Senegal. Oh no, I got Sierra Leone. This is Sierra Leone passport. This was a 2-week process. I had to go to Sierra Leone and be there for 2 weeks, right? And then I had to qualify. You got to qualify for getting it. Sierra Leone is one of the only places that accept one of the places. I think Kenya is starting this. Ghana, they're all going to pick it up. But DNA evidence granting you citizenship, right? So my DNA shows that we are from Sierra Leone through a company that the government recognizes. And then we paid the fee and then traveled for, I think it was like 2 weeks, 17 days, something like that, to go through the process, to learn about the government, to, sit through the classes, to learn about how everything worked, to meet this person, that person, and all of this, and then go through that process and get that. So I got that in 2023. I mean, I can't even remember. It's been so long. 2023, yeah. So I plan on going back this year. I plan on being on the continent a lot this year. That is my goal. What's the fee in arm and a leg? Yeah, Calanda, you don't want to know. It wasn't okay. It wasn't what we paying today. Let me say that. So let me bring up the fees. It wasn't them fees, right? It was not these fees that you see. Let me just say that, right? It was a bit more, and my wife and I got them, right? So yeah, because yeah, come on, what I'm gonna get? I'm gonna get it, and not my lady ain't got it. That's crazy, right? But 48.74 double occupancy, 55.74 single occupancy, 29.25 for children 5 to 11, $199 down. And I see Kevin say, I actually plan on moving. Yeah, I'm out too, Kevin. I'm out, brother. You know, um, yeah, I'm interested in seeing the rest of the world. I'm interested in getting on the continent. This was my motivation for really getting behind all of this. I wanted to get over there and get comfortable with the continent. I want to get over there and start living longer stretches, right? So, like, I'll go for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I want to be over there for like 3 months now, 4 months, 6 months, right? At a time, not so I can just stay in one spot, but I got a space on the continent. So now I can travel the other 53 countries, right? Because it's a lot of places I've been to a lot of places, but there's a lot of places I haven't been. So it's hard to say I want to be somewhere. And then people be like, oh, you're going to build a home and this and that. And it's like, it's hard to build a home. And like, I don't even know where I want to be just yet. But I think it's important to start the reconnection process, and travel is the first way to do that. So, that's what we're opening and expanding to y'all. And as I build more relationships over there and coaching, and like I'm about to see brother Jay Cameron, right? Like I call him Mr. Africa. I think he's done 24 African countries so far. And he has a firm hold on the continent. We're about to be together in DC here in a couple of days, right? So I'm really excited about that. Ashley don't even know. I threw a curveball on you. She thought I was going to Memphis. Bang, change up, right? But I'm just excited about connecting with people over there. I love the fraternity because it's there. They just opened up a chapter in Nigeria. Now I got some friends to go contact and to start building with over there. There in Nigeria. And any organizations that I'm with, are affiliated with, or the networks that I'm in, I'm trying to put this together for all of us. I'm not selfish, right? I'm not going to take advantage of all the opportunities. I mentioned this last night. I am looking to position myself not as the expert, but as an expert connector, right? So somebody that you can trust, somebody that says, hey, if I'm going to put my name in our business on this, you can trust it, right? And I stake my reputation on it. Otherwise, I'm not going to get involved. If I had a meeting with some brothers today, one's in Ethiopia right now. He's from Nigeria, and then another brother from California, and we were talking, and I don't know, like my spidey senses tingle, right? Like I just know all opportunity ain't for you. I don't take everything that's thrown at us. I don't take every opportunity, right? I try to make sure that we move and get involved in the right ones. And I know our partnership and relationships with, the travel element of this, Sankofa Experiences. Yeah, I state my reputation on it because the brother that we partner with and that we're behind, I know he's solid as a rock. And he takes his integrity as hard as I do. And I take a lot of things for granted, but not my integrity, right? Like I got one name, and it's my mama's and my daddy's, right? That's my mama. She passed in 2019. This is dad. He's 95 years young now. I don't take that lightly, and I know they watching. Dad is literally watching. He's a fan of the organization, which is like one of my crowning achievements. My dad is a fan of the organization, man. I just, I marvel in that. I love that man, but I respect him. I respect him more than I love him because I know the hell that he's been through in his life to give me the opportunities that I have. And, quite frankly, I'll be damned if I sully it chasing some money. Um, so anyway, before I tear up or do anything crazy, and I got a pack. I got a flight at 6 in the morning. I'm over here tripping, right? I appreciate y'all being here. I don't know. Let me make sure I ain't got no questions. Exactly. I'm traveling. Yep. Okay. Back to Queens groups in Africa. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a beautiful group. It's a beautiful organization. This is what's happening, right? This is what we're doing. We're taking people back to the motherland, and we're closing in on 400 people traveling with us. That is insane. And trusting us to go across the world to have an experience in a place that they've never been before. We don't take it lightly. I want to thank Sister Ashley because she is really the backbone of all of this. So like y'all see, when the details come up, I'll be like, Ashley, what you say? Right? What does Ashley say? Like, let's make sure that this is right. I was thinking about organizing a deed. Yeah, yeah. Kevin, let's talk about it. I've talked about it. I don't know, man. Like, I be excited about stuff, and what I've learned is a lot of people talk, right? But they ain't ready to move. So I don't know if you got a better traction with that group. I think it's a group that needs to go, right? I'm in the frat. I'm a paid member. I'm active. But I got a lot of criticisms, right? With the organizations, with all of them, to tell you the truth. And I think that a trip to the continent and a serious discussion about history and culture is warranted across the group. And I'm sorry, this turned into a D9 conversation. I think we lost our way, and my sayings always challenge me. He say, Fred, you can't change the organization from the outside. You're gonna have to get involved if you really care and you really want to change it, right? But I think there's some issues. I have a lot of issues, to be honest with you. My lion sister and I are going to Ghana in November. Oh, I love it. Oh, Doc, you trying to get me to go. Doc trying to get me to go to November. I feel like she twisted my arm. Oh my God, I gotta go to Africa. Oh my God, I can't believe Doc, you gonna do this to me. Y'all know I ain't got no sense. No, I'm gonna think about it though. I don't know. I gotta nail that side of I haven't even looked past June or January. Well, other than I know, well, shoot, I lied. I just lied. I'm going to Brazil and Nigeria in September, and then the end of the month. Then I'm looking at South Africa around that time too. Come join us, Freddie. Right, my other friend is your friend. All right, I don't know. Let me see. Well, it can't align. Maybe I'll be in South Africa and then I'll just come to Ghana right on the way home. That's like on the way, right? Ain't that on the way? It's on the way. It ain't too far out the way. But man, listen, right, we talk about my escapades. We supposed to be talking about y'all's, right? I definitely live a privileged life. I appreciate it. I am grateful, and I'm grateful for y'all for trusting us, for going on excursions like this, or even considering it, right? I know it's not a little bit of money. I know it's a crazy time, but I know the reward and fulfillment that you feel when you hit that ground, right? Like when I was talking about it during the news telecast, right? Like seeing the experiences, this is why I really like to go. I like to go because I like to watch y'all. It's like I love to watch Dad. That's my man, right? But I love to watch y'all and to see and just to see the because you've been told so many lies about Africa and who these people are, and just to see it like melt from you, right? It's just it is something that I can't truly explain. And you're gonna experience it when you go, and then you come back with somebody that you know, and you're gonna watch it happen to them. It's just hard to explain, but it's a beautiful thing, right? All right, so tell team Dr. Anita that I might go. I don't know. Give him a maybe. Then he gonna call me cat and shit. So for the D9, I represented in my friend group. Really? Okay, all right. You're getting heavy on me now. You're getting heavy on me now. You give me a Garveyite in that group, and then that might be it because I need somebody to connect. Well, you the Garveyite, what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, so no, but all right. I appreciate y'all, man. We'll be here all day. Look, y'all know Sunday dinner coming up. We got time to communicate and chat. All right, Kevin, I appreciate you. Great information, safe travels. Yeah, thank you, Kevin. I appreciate. Carol, that's Karen. Oh, I got Karen. I saw the K. This boy can't see with his glasses on. Thank y'all. Thank everybody for being here. I appreciate y'all this evening. Sister Ashley, thank you again. We 2 hours and 1 minute. All right. I was saying 2 hours, so I'm doing good though. You know that could turn into 3 quickly. But I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you. Please consider our offer. We hope we catch you in the motherland. If not this year, maybe next. So y'all know what it is. Until next time, love, peace, and power to the people. All right. Good night, everybody.